Hello, so now we'll be doing some examples under the topic analogy, okay? Let's just begin. This is what we'll be discussing now. Both of these are 2022 questions, so very recently asked. Find the pair similar to 8, 4. Okay, now what is the relationship between both of these? One is that 8 by 2 is 4. Another thing, as I've said, though, as I've mentioned when we discussed analogy questions, always look at powers, because a lot of analogy questions that come under number analogy, they are on the basis of powers, so squares or cubes or something of that sort. So if you look at powers, then you know that 8 is 2 cube, 4 is 2 square, right? So we have that. Now we look at the pair. So it could either be this or it could be this. If you were to look at the pairs, 27, 9. 27 you know is 3 cube. 9 is 3 square. So this could be a potential answer, because here it was 2 cube and 2 square. And here it could be 3 cube. So basically the cube of a number and then the square of another number. Right. So we keep that aside. Now we also look at this thing. 8 by 2 equals 4. Why do you get this? Where do you get 8 by 2 equals 4, right? So just give me a second. Yeah, so where do you get this 8 by 2 equals 4? So 2016, what is 216 by 32? It's not, is it 4? Sorry, what is 216 by 2? Is it 32? So 2 ones are 2. Yeah, it's not likely. It starts from 1, right? So it's not likely to be 32. See, you don't have to do with the whole division. Just, you know, the 216 by 2, it has to begin with 1, right? So 2 ones are 2. So then you just know it's not going to work. So it's definitely not this. Now, moving on to 7. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So moving on to 216, 32, and then you have 72, 24. So 72, 24. We'll see if this is the relation, right? So that's why we are trying this. So what is 72 by 2? Again, it's not 24, because 2 3s are 6. It has to start with a 3. So this is also wrong. You can cut this, you can cut this. 45, 5. Again, 45 by 2 is not going to be 5, because 2 2s are 4. It starts from 2, right? So this is not right. And even so this was just the cross-checking part. Otherwise, we could have just gotten, we got this formula, right? So we know that this is the answer. And like I said at the beginning and now, most of the questions under number classification, number analogy, these come under squares or cubes. So if you can find a pattern using squares or cubes, that is likely to be the right one. This process of checking, you can do it only if you have time. Otherwise, you don't have to do this process of checking. Okay. Moving on. 100, 121, 144. Okay. So, again, let's look at squares. 100 we know is the square of 10. 121 you know is the square of 11. Again, so since we're on this topic, learn the squares of numbers up to 15. Okay. So, up to 15, learn squares, so that it's easier for you and you don't have to sit and calculate. Okay. 144 is the square of 12, and now you need to, so you have 10, 11, 12. So 10 square, 11 square, 12 square. So this would be 13. Okay, because this is basically from 10, you got it using 10 plus 1 whole square, right? That's how you got this. So 12, again 12 plus 1 whole square. 13 square is 169. Okay, again, so if you learn, it will be very easy. Otherwise, you can just multiply and check. 13 to 13, 3 3s are 9, 3 1s are 3, 3 1s are 3, 1 1s are 1. 169. Okay, as simple as that. You add it here. Right. So moving on, this was the first pair. Moving on to our second pair. 2 by 5, 8 by 25, 11 by 15. Then what? Okay. So let's look at 2 by 5 and 8 by 25. Like I said, first thing, try to see if you have any power relation. So between 2 and 8, you know that 2 cube is 8, right? 2 cube is equal to 8. Between 5 and 25, you know that 5 square is 25. Now that is the relationship that you have. Now, how do you get it from 11 by 15? What is 11 square? 11 square is 121. Do you have it anywhere? Yes. But sorry, no, we did not want 11 square, we wanted 11 cube. Okay, so that is another thing which I think it's good to just mention, that since it happened to me, sometimes you do some calculation and you see it in the options and you get very overconfident, you're like, okay, this is right, I'm just going to take this, but the answer would have been wrong, like I did right now, right? So be very alert when you do questions, and also if you have time, always cross check in the sense, check some other option, make sure that option does not work, or just check, just rewind the operation that you did. Okay, so here what you need is the cube of the denominator, and sorry, cube of the numerator and the square of the denominator. So for the numerator here it is 11, right? So 11 square is 121. What is 11 cube? 121 into 11. 1 ones are 1, 2 is 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. Addition 1, 3, 1331, right? So now this, so now we feel that A is the answer. We can just cross check using this denominator, which is 15. 15 square is 225, right? So if you want, you can just cross check it. 15, 15, 5 is a 25, 2 carry, 5 ones are 5, 7, 5 ones are 5, 1 ones are 1, 5. 7 plus 5, 12, 1, 225, right? That's it. Now, next, neck, tie, waist. What is this relationship? Okay, what is the relationship between neck and tie? Basically, a tie is what you wear on your neck, right? This is supposed to be a tie, but my drawing skills are very bad, but yeah. So, a tie is what you wear on your neck, right? So, waist, what do you wear on your waist? A belt, right? Is it a watch? Definitely not. Is it a shirt? No. Pants? No. So, belt. So, belt is the answer, right? As simple as that. Okay. Moving on, complete the second pair. BOQD ERTG ANBC. Let's see. What could the relationship be? What is the relationship? Sorry, yeah. So what is the relationship between B and E? A, B, C, D, E. Right. So basically you have two letters in between. What is the relationship between O and R? O, LMNO, P, Q, R. Again, two letters in between. Between Q and T, LMNO, P, Q, R, S, T. Again, two letters in between. D and G, E, F, G. Again, two letters in between. So we have got the relationship. It's basically that there should be two letters in between. So for A, B, C, D. So it has to be D, not D. For N, LMNO, P, Q. Q. So DQS. You can just cross check with S. So for P it would be Q or S, right? And for C it would be D, E, F. You're getting it, right? So basically you look at the letter that you have, you go to the letter that comes after two letters in middle, right? So for B it is C, D, E, and just so on and so forth. Just give me a second. Yeah. Okay, that's how you get it. So you just look at B, C, D, E, and that's how you get it, right? Now complete the second pair. N14P what? So this, whenever you have a number that is related to a letter, what you can understand is that this is most likely will be the position of the letter or something to do with the position. So what is the position of N? You can write it all down, or like I mentioned before, learn the position of numbers at the 5th, 10th, 15th, 20th and 26th position. 26th is Z, that you know for sure. So if you were to learn that, if you would have learned that, you would have known that O is at the 15th position. So then you get that N is at the 14th position. Very simple. You don't have to spend a lot of time, right? So once you get that, you need to find P. So if N is at the 14th position, then P will be at LMNOP, right? P will be at the 16th position and you get 60. Right, now if you did not know that, you can sit and write this A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, and then you can give the numbers 3, 4, 5, and then SIE you will get N at 40. Right, so but it's always better, like I've said this multiple times now, it's always better to learn the numbers at 5th, 10th, 15th and 26th position. Okay, and since we're done with that, let's move on. Tail, late, face what? Okay, so let's write it down. Tail late. What is the relationship between this? What do you see? The first and the third letters have been interchanged, right? The second and the fourth letters stay the same. Do the same for face. Interchange the first and third letters. You will get C, F, and then A and E stay the same. Basically, you get cafe, right? Oh, nice. Oh, it's nice how all of these are meaningful words. So I would have expected these to come under letter analogy, but these actually come under word analogy because, I mean, okay, it's actually letter analogy, but you can also call it word analogy because these are meaningful words. Okay, anyway, we're done with that. And then you have AZYB CXWD. So what will it be for EVUF? Okay, A. Right, so, okay. How do you relate A to C? There is one letter in between, A, B, C, right? One letter in between. Z to X. Okay, now this is a bit tricky because there is XYZ. There is one letter in between, but X comes before Z. Here C came after A. So basically here the formula is, for A to C the formula is plus 2. So A, B, C plus 2. For Z to X the formula is minus 2. Because Z, Y, X, you need to go backwards. Now let's see what it will be for Y to W. For Y to W, again it is minus 2. UVW, XY, right? So Y, if you subtract Y twice, like two places from Y, you go to UVW XY. So XW, right? So for Y it was minus 2. For B to D, again it is plus 2. Okay, I hope you get this right. B, C, D. You go two places, right? So this is the formula. So the thing is, you might do plus 2 here and think, okay, it's going to be plus 2 for every letter. No, you need to be very careful. It's plus 2 for the first and last letter. For the middle letters, it's minus 2. So in that way, what is EVUF going to be? EVUF is going to be, E will be plus 2. What does E plus 2 give you? EFG. What does V minus 2 give you? RSTUV, T, right? TUV. Now just see if there are any options you can cut. You can cut both of these. Just check the third one. What does U minus 2 give you? RS, right? So GTSH. You can just cross check. What does F plus 2? What does F plus 2 give you? GH. That's it. And you're done. Okay, that's how you do this. So just keep in mind, we have done questions like this in for other topics also. Just remember that just because one formula works for one letter does not mean it should work for all letters. Okay, moving on. Minimum, minim, maximum. This is nice. So what is the relationship? The first and the last letters remain same. Okay, do you see the relationship? Basically, you're just reading it in reverse. So minimum in reverse, if you read it from the end, you get maminim. So it's as simple as that. So maximum, if you read it from the end, it would be mamixam. This is the answer. Okay, so just, you do not have to find any formula or code. It's just that read it in the reverse order. Winner, Ivnre, loser. So this is also, this is something that I had said in when we talked under coding, decoding, but I'll just also mention it here. So basically, how do you know if there is going to be any code, like in this case, like here there was a certain formula, right? So in this case, you had a certain formula to decode, but here it's just reversing. And sorry, not this one. Yeah, here it's just reversing, and also even if you look here, it's just rearranging the letter. So how do you know? Just look at the code carefully. You do not see any new letters in the code, right? It's the same letter. So in the code, if you're going to see same letters and there is nothing new, then you can guess that it would be either rearranging letters or reversing the order or something of that sort. If you see new letters in the code, that's when you know either you have to play with the position or find out some formula. Everything is usually based on the position, right? So that's when you know that the position is what you need to be looking at. So here, now since the letters are all the same, there is some rearranging of letters that has happened. So let's see. Winner, So WI has been swapped. NN, we do not know if these have been solved because it's the same letter. Oh, sorry. Just give me a second. Okay, this is what we have. I'll just make it easier for you, right? So yeah, this is what we had. So here the last two letters also have been swapped. So this is what the code is. Basically, you swap the two letters. So for LOOSER, it would be LO would become OL. That's actually only for one question. So you can cut all of these three and you've gotten the answer. You can just cross check. So ER, does it become RE? Yes. So you know. Now here OS has also become SO, but this we do not know for sure, right? Because these two are the same here. So you can just cross check with the first two and the last two, and it's right. So it works. Okay. Moving on. News 14, 5, 23, 19 paper. Okay, so now this is like you have a lot of letters. Now these you have a lot of numbers. So like I said before, whenever you have numbers, it would be related to the position of the letters. So here is it right? We just did N, right? We had a question where we had N and we got that the position of N is 14, right? And E, the position of E is 5. Like I said, study the letters at 5, 10, 15, 26th position. So if you had studied, you would know that E is at position 5. If not, you can just write these and check. A, B, C, D, E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. W is at the 23rd position, S is at the 19th position, right? You can, if you don't trust me, you can cross check. Okay, we'll do that, but before that, let's look at paper. So now we need to find paper. So you know that N is at the 14th position. So P is going to be at the 16th position. LMNOP, right? So because of that, you can cross this out and you can cross this out. Moving on, A is going to be at the first position. So this is the answer and you're done. P, if you want to cross check, you know that E is at the 5th position. You've gotten it and that's it. You're done. Okay. So yeah, that's it. And I'll just take you through to this again. So you can cross check W and S. W is at the 23rd position, like I said, and S is at the where is S? 19th position, right? So see, for all of these, it's always easy if you can learn these ones. T20, Z26. So see, if you know T is at the 20th position, then it's very simple. You know that W is going to be 23, right? 21, 20, T, U, V, W. So 21, 22, 23. Similarly, even to find S, finding S is also very easy because you know T is 20, so S is just one number before T, which is 19, right? So that's it. We have done a couple of questions from analogy. It's simple, but there are just some things that you need to know beforehand, like the alphabet positions, and also, like I said, states and capitals, power and units might also be asked. It's, you know, you can't say that it'll definitely be asked or anything, but it's always good to prepare those as well. Okay, so we're done with analogy. I'll just take you through a very quick recap. We had letter analogy, word analogy, number analogy. For number, it was usually based on squares, square roots, or cubes and cube roots. For letter, it was based on mainly the position of letters. For words, it's either based on what we already know about the words, like in the use or anything of that sort, or capitals, countries and their capital, states and their capitals, or things like that, power and units or things like that, right? So that's analogy for you.